Welcome back to Instagram for Bosses. I'm your host, Andrea Maree. I'm here to teach you practical tips and strategies for leveraging Instagram so you can position yourself as an expert, generate more leads, and land more clients and customers. So bosses, let's dive into today's episode. Today, I'm sharing 5 of the most common selling mistakes that are sabotaging your sales on Instagram and what you should do instead so you can actually land new clients and customers. So if you're interested in learning more about that, then stay tuned. Before we start, I want to remind you to follow me over on Instagram. You can find me by searching at Andrea Maree Creative. I share even more tips over there, plus the latest Instagram news so you can stay up to date with all things Instagram. Now let's get back to today's episode. Since it first launched, Instagram has become one of the most effective social media platforms for businesses to market and sell their products and services. When done effectively, selling on Instagram can be very lucrative, allowing you to earn multiple thousands of dollars per month, yes, even if you have fewer than 1,000 followers. With that being said, not all businesses succeed in selling on Instagram, and many are quick to blame it on social media not working for them, when in fact, the reason they aren't successfully getting new clients and customers is that they're making one or more of the following mistakes. The first mistake people make when selling on Instagram is, to put it frankly, their copywriting sucks. It doesn't matter if you have 10 followers or 10,000 followers. If your copywriting stinks, you're not gonna make sales on Instagram. This is a mistake I see really often. The business's messaging is very vague, and as a result, they're not resonating with their target market. The most common reason for poor copywriting is that businesses don't have a clear understanding of who their ideal client or customer is. I've spoken in more detail about how to find your ideal client or customer on a previous episode of the podcast, so I'll leave that linked in the show notes so you can check it out after this episode. Essentially, you want to have a deep understanding of this person's demographic and psychographic information. The more specific you can be, the easier you'll be able to tailor your marketing message to this person, and the higher the chance you'll actually be able to convert them into paying clients and customers. In addition to understanding your ideal customer, you also need to be able to create copy that showcases your product or service in a unique and interesting way, and you need to include a call to action that drives people to take that next step and buy from you. This is something I spent a lot of time working on with my agency clients as well as my coaching clients, because it's one of the most important factors to get right when it comes to selling effectively on Instagram. The next mistake I see people make when selling on Instagram is that they try to cold sell in the DMs. This is one of my biggest pet peeves and one of the quickest ways to turn people off buying from you. Don't get me wrong, direct messages can certainly be a great way to connect with potential customers and clients on Instagram, but sending a cold direct message to someone you've never interacted with before is really off-putting. And this actually happened to me again recently. Someone reached out to me who was also in the business coaching space. They liked one of my Instagram reels, and then sure enough, I got a DM that went something like this: "Hey, love your content, just wanted to let you know." To which I responded, "Thank you," and that I was glad to hear they were finding value in my content. At this point, I was already a little on guard as their initial message was very vague and they didn't mention anything specific about the content that I share. This could have easily been a message that was copied and pasted to many different accounts. They then proceeded to start asking questions, including how long I'd been in the industry and what led me to the industry in the first place. And I did make some small talk for a couple of messages, and then bam, of course, I was hit with the salesy message, "Are you looking for new clients?" And then further messages about joining their online community. Massive turnoff. Now, if this person had taken the time to actually build a relationship with me prior to this initial encounter, the conversation could have gone quite differently. As I said earlier, direct messages can be a really great way to connect with potential customers and clients on Instagram. However, sending these type of cold pitch style messages without first warming up your audience is never effective. It's important to build a relationship with your audience before trying to sell to them, and this can be done by either engaging with their posts, commenting on their stories, and offering them helpful information without expecting something in return. Let me say that again, by offering helpful information without expecting something in return. Relationship building takes time, so have patience and do this properly, please. Before I share the next big Instagram selling mistake, I want to tell you a little about my free resource, the Instagram Strategy Planner. This new and improved planner will help you to quickly and easily map out your Instagram strategy so you can actually move the needle in your business and get the results you want. Simply click the link in the description to download for free. The next big mistake I see people make when selling on Instagram is that they create fake scarcity. While creating a sense of urgency can be a powerful selling tool, fake scarcity can actually hurt your brand's reputation. The fastest way to create distrust amongst your audience is to use false claims about things like limited availability, limited stock, or time-sensitive offers. It is crucial that we are ethical, honest, and transparent with our customers if we want to be successful in the long term. The fourth mistake people make when selling on Instagram is that they ignore their analytics. Instagram gives you access to some really valuable insights about your audience, content, and engagement. So regularly checking and analyzing this data is essential to effectively converting sales on Instagram. You can determine what content is working for you, what your audience is engaging with, as well as what's not working so well, so you can adapt your strategy moving forward. You also have access to information about when your audience is most active on the platform, so you can post your content when you know that the majority of your audience will see it. The fifth selling mistake I see people make on Instagram is that they spam their audience with sales messages. Again, please don't do this. This is often accompanied by a really desperate energy that people can sense from a mile away. Think of it like this. Imagine you're in a relationship and your partner is super clingy. They don't give you any space and you feel like they're over your shoulder all the time. It feels super suffocating and ultimately makes you want to run, right? The same is true when it comes to selling your offer on Instagram. If you are always in people's faces trying to sell without adding any value, this is going to repel your audience and really turn people off buying from you. There has to be a balance between selling your offer and delivering value to your audience. A great book I can recommend is Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary perfectly explains the balance between adding value and selling in your content, which is essential for converting sales on Instagram. So here's the key takeaway. Selling on Instagram can be very lucrative, but it requires businesses to be ethical and avoid certain mistakes. By focusing on creating engaging copy that speaks to your ideal client or customer, building relationships rather than cold selling, being honest and transparent with your audience, analyzing your analytics, and finding the right balance between selling and adding value in your content, you can greatly increase your success with selling on Instagram. So that's what I've got for you for today's episode. If you found value in today's episode and want to learn more about how you can work with me to master Instagram marketing so you can reach more dream clients and customers without the overwhelm, then be sure to send me a DM over on Instagram or click the link in the description. Now I want to hear from you. Have you witnessed any of these selling mistakes being made, or are you maybe guilty of making one or two of these selling mistakes? Drop me a comment down below and let me know. This is a judgment-free zone and we are all here to continually learn and improve. Thanks for joining me today. If you're enjoying the show, I would love and appreciate it if you subscribed and left me a rating and review. It would mean a lot if you shared it on your Instagram story, because sharing episodes is the best way for the show to grow, reach more people, and impact more lives. If you do share the episode, be sure to tag me at Andrea Maree Creative, because I love resharing your stories and chatting with you in the DMs. Until next time, I hope you have a great day and I'll speak to you soon.